Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I'll give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. And give me some time to find another part where we got some comfortable shade at least. For those in the city, yeah, it's another one of them hot days. It's kind of mixy, but still kind of hot, kind of humid. Make sure y'all keeping yourselves hydrated and cool. Keeping that water, that Gatorade, coconut water, whatever going to replenish you. Make sure you're using that. Spider, what's going on, my guy? First things first, you already know. Hopefully, everybody having a blessed and productive Friday so far. Hopefully, everybody smoothly getting through the workday. I know for those outside the city, yeah, school already done started, so hopefully, everything going smooth on y'all end. And hopefully y'all ready for this weekend. Whatever plans you might have, make sure you keeping yourself safe and also making sure you just enjoying another day, another blessing, especially if you are celebrating birthdays. I know there's a lot of y'all celebrating birthdays this week or birthdays landed during the week and y'all gonna be partying this weekend. Again, make sure you keeping yourself safe, keep yourself visual, and the main thing is just keep yourself on a up and up. Appreciate everybody that tuned in yesterday for the conversation. Definitely was a great conversation. Yeah, we had some laughs. You already know how we do it. Bob, what's going on, my guy? Denise, baby. Definitely was a good conversation. And yeah, I'm definitely going to reiterate on that because again, I feel that safety, especially for the women, is definitely imperative. But see, like I said, it's a collective effort. We got to start weaning out the people that we know for a fact not moving accordingly, basically, and get them up out of here. Because again, they can be a danger to society. Butterfly, baby. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Shout outs to Jewel. I think she live right now to get notifications from all the good ones that be coming through. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, yesterday wasn't that far off of a conversation. Like today is not going to be that far off neither. There is something that still needs to be instilled, right? Um, for some of you parents, I'm going to say this before it does become a problem or become out of hand. Teach your kids about tolerance, acceptance. Also teach them about respect and boundaries and teach them just manners, period. Um, I'm not going to lie, there's some of you who think it's cute that your kids is doing and saying the things that they're saying. But it really ain't. And in the long run, it kind of puts you in a rut. Like I said, I've always felt that as far as the main elders are concerned, the ones who have really paved the way or done the things that they're supposed to be doing for their community, the ones that actually get the real love and respect, they are supposed to be respected, even by the young ones in this generation. That again, there's some of y'all that don't know left from right, and if you do know left from right, when you continuously go left, it could go bad for you. I think it really is time to start setting the boundaries and the standards that are needed. Again, it shouldn't be no young kids, and I mean young, young, not even 8, being that fly out the mouth and disrespectful towards elders. That's not a good look. And if you as a parent are not going to check it, guess what? You're going to end up getting checked 9 out of 10 by the adult themselves. Have you ever felt nonchalant about a family member passing? Uh, to be honest with you, Denise, almost everybody that was close to me or still, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I done had a lot of people, even close ones, die. If I took every one of those deaths and passings, like I would take anyone, anything else. If you was a real valuable part of the life or a part of the journey that I was on and that I'm still on, then yeah, it hit different. Serious, baby. You might have one or two people or one or two family members you might not really care about. If that's what you mean, like just not caring about them passing, uh, it depends. It really depends. But in all honesty, once it does come to that, you gotta remember that. Look, they no longer here, and despite whatever, um, most you can do is still just try to move forward with your life. But you don't hold no ill wills neither. Um, I've always believed that you never hold no ill wills because you gotta think about it. Regardless if they was doing good, bad, or in between, they not here no more, so they can't defend themselves. And basically, whatever you say or however you feel is not going to make any difference. Um, Now again, it might be people who have taken that situation nonchalant, but again, it all depends on the scenario because sometimes at some points, some people do realize that regardless to what, you know, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same because guess what? Again, they can't defend themselves. And no matter what hurt, aggression, or anger you might have been holding in, even if you feel you deemed right to do so, you got to just let bygones be bygones. You know, that's the whole thing. Um, it depends because if it's a family member, prime example, and they've been heavy on drugs and they done did damn near everything that they could possibly do to burn bridges, then some people are going to feel nonchalant. You know, but then again, it shouldn't be that way because at the end of the day, you lost family. Um, some people will say, well, it don't matter what happens. When it's up forever. But then again, um, it's pointless. Well, Denise, I can't really say much on that end right there. But then again, like I said, at juncture that everybody be at, um, sometimes you ain't gonna worry about it, or it will be nonchalant. But at some point, you will feel it. You know, and that's the thing. You know, you might not feel it as often, but you will feel it at certain points. And again, I've always felt separation is just, my bad, y'all. It ain't the city until you get one of them damn sirens. Throw me off my shit. Shut up. Shut up. My bad, y'all. Shut up. Let's go down a block already, man. Ain't even no traffic. Shut up. Somebody passed me the grenade launcher. My bad. About to play GTA out this month. No, but again, everybody is different. You know, some people will feel it right then and there. Some people might not ever think about it. Again, it all depends on the scenario and the situation. But the main thing you can do anyway is just again try to move forward in life. Like I was saying yesterday to a degree. Some people just go crazy about the money, but guess what? The money is still be circulating and spending even after you're gone. Exiled one, what's going on? What's going on? Miss Chicago, baby. You know what you think? You got to remember this part though. Um, there's certain scenarios where after everything is said and done, um, you can only move forward and not dwell on anything from the past. In the long run, you know, certain things will take its course. Colton, what's going on? Devils, baby. What's going on, sis? Been a minute. Hope you all good. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Um, me, I'm always tackling a few different things at once. But what I'm mainly tackling today is, again, got to go back down to the standards that need to be set, especially for these kids that are coming in. You good? You good? Come on now. It's wakey bakies. But you just got to remember this part. If you don't teach them solid foundations right now, when they do get into their teens, maybe they young adult stages, guess what? Things are not going to be as easy as they think. Not going to be able to talk to anybody wild crazy, especially in the workforce, and think you're going to keep a job. You're not going to be able to just do what you feel like doing, and there's no consequences and repercussions. And again, especially when it comes down to the elders, the respectable elders, they should have the utmost respect. They should be given the utmost respect. And it's not so much as just because they've been here longer and they done seen a lot and done a lot. That's one portion of it. Other portion of it is common sense. You wouldn't want nobody disrespecting your grandmother, grandfather, granduncles and shit like that. Come on, be real. Some of y'all might even have family members that's already in a senior citizens, 60, 70, 80. So again, you just gotta think about it. It's a common sense level and a barrier to the thing. Again, if an elder is telling you something for your own good and not coming at you rude or disrespectful, why should you be returning that anger and whatever back like that? Sit back and listen sometimes. They could be telling you something that could possibly save you for that day or even for your rest of your days. Again, some of them think that, oh, y'all old niggas don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all old bitches don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I hear the shit. Part of my language, but I hear the shit. But it'd be crazy because it's like, damn well if this would have been, I would say 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to say a lot of that stuff without getting sent back to your parent. Sorry. Especially those people who are from the old school, where it was customary. Your child got out of pocket, I don't care what the age was. I'm going to bring you back to reality, and then I'm going to let your parent know I did it. And 9 out of 10, your parent probably gave me the permission to do it. So you just going to serve yourself an extra side of a butt whooping because you ain't supposed to be getting out of pocket with them, especially when they are doing nothing but trying to give you something in some form of advice. Problem with some of y'all is that you think you know everything, but you really don't. Again, you never know completely everything in life. Yeah, you know important things, but you don't know everything. You might know some new things, but you still don't know everything. Bonnie, what's going on, baby? T Racy, what's going on, baby? Again, you don't know everything. You can have all the good knowledge that's available right now. Grant that. That's cool. But there's still a lot of things that are going to be unknown. Some things you might not end up finding out until later on in your stages. Like the things you think is cool now ain't going to be cool tomorrow. Everything, and I mean everything that you think is cool now is not going to be cool tomorrow. You got to remember it's a cycle of things. So some things will be playing back into the role. At some point, a lot of y'all young ones are going to be upset because there's going to be a lot of adults, just like it's going to be a lot of elders on your necks about certain things. And yeah, we want to be holding each other accountable as well too, because that's how it worked back then. Adults was holding each other accountable for things that was messed up, just like the kids was holding kids accountable. Like everybody was holding each other accountable for everything. That's what we messed up at coming into this generation right now. Cool Gamer, what's going on, my guy? Who else popped up in here? Hope I ain't missed nobody. If I did miss somebody, apologies. I'm trying to get myself back in some shade. The sun is trying to do some damage over here. I don't need it. But again, think about that. We had a barrier to where, look, you was going to learn what you were supposed to learn. Etiquette, respect, boundaries, you name it. But you was also going to get a fair balance. Uh-huh. Yep. Just like you didn't know to get clapped out the chat. Society. Hopefully you enjoy your Friday. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. My bad, y'all. For those who are just coming in here, hold on. This is what we talk about with people like
Corn
this.
causes
So he
brain
gets
damage.
one of these. There you go. There you go. You get one of those, my guy. Let me not say what I'm going to say because I felt like being petty and giving a eulogy, but no. My gloves are off right now. But we was holding each other accountable. For fair use or for fair knowledge for that fool I just sniped up out of here. You were from that era, 9 out of 10. So you even knew you couldn't get crazy with the adults or even the elders. That's how true it is. Because you would have had your teeth down your throat. And it wouldn't have been a damn thing anybody could have said about it. T-Racy, you know these damn trolls ain't got no damn respect. That's why they stay in the basement. You seen the drop that I just played for them. Big dog, what's going on, my guy? For those who just tuned in, you already know you hit the like button. But again, everybody was holding each other accountable on things. Everybody. Especially when we knew it was areas in the community that was actually not where it should have been. We was eliminating a lot of that. Because again, it was more about keeping certain things under wraps. It was really about protection of the kids from a lot of the dangers that they need to face at that time frame. Yeah, seriously, we had one. And you know I always get rid of one. So I'll be talking about these people. It could be early morning where he at, early afternoon, even early evening. I don't care where you at in the world, actually. It's just sad when you come in here and think you're going to interrupt something. You can't. You was probably one of them disrespectful people. Probably got your teeth knocked out a few times because you just don't listen. Go to sleep. Stay asleep. Tamika, baby. If you listen to a lot of different people and different stories, they'll tell you that same thing. We couldn't say and do too much towards the elders or even towards adults at all. Matter of fact, that stay in the child's place meant what it meant. Stay in your place. There were certain things they tried to keep away from us and hide from us only because, again, they didn't want to subject us to these stuff this early. Let's keep it real. We know drugs have been around forever. Alcohol been around forever. Man, my bad, y'all. It really is the city when you keep hearing one of those. Four corner, what's going on? Ah, shoot. I got you, bro. I gotta take care of you in a minute. No doubt, T Racy, baby. Appreciate you. No doubt, Butterfly, baby. And for those who might have to leave out, don't worry. Y'all can definitely catch this replay. But I'll be honest with you, though, for real. Um, you couldn't do that. You couldn't be in certain vicinities with adults when you know adults was doing certain things. And again, for some people, they'll say it was hypocritical there. Nah, that was just smart and logical. A child does not need to be seeing what I'm doing or following what I'm doing or what any other adult is doing. A child should be a child. A child should be able to grow up with an equal balance and have some form of decency in life. Can't continuously disrespect anybody when it comes to just living life because it doesn't make sense. You disrespecting certain people, and guess what? These people could end up helping you in the long run at some point. So you better take that into consideration too. I can understand in certain situations you want to have some people who are in their quote unquote elder age, but don't act like elders. I grant all of that. And this is where some of the frustration comes from. You know this. But again, we got to bring back and restore the order. It was something I'm going to bring up later on because I'm going to end up having a whole topic about that. Like a whole, I'm going to see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop the link that day definitely for it. Definitely good to get some different views, different opinions. But as long as we all sticking to the facts, the most important thing of the conversation, you know. We gotta eliminate this idea that people can continuously be disrespected and not have to say something. Prime example, if I know your parent might not be around when your kids is doing something crazy, if I'm able to intervene at that juncture and say what's necessary for them to get it together, then I do so. Because that's what was done back in the day. I know parents ain't gonna be able to have their eyes on their kids 24. Grant that, especially when they do get to a certain stage. But You still should have watchful eyes and ears. Because again, you're gonna have people that know what's what and say, you know what, here, let me sit you down and talk to you about something. This is why, to a degree, if you look at the errors, despite everything I just mentioned, drugs, violence, so on and so forth, again, it wasn't never really forced on us. Some of these quote unquote wars and stuff like that, we wasn't accustomed to that because we didn't look at that. Not gonna lie to you though, if we'd have thought to do what some of these ones are doing now, this generation are doing, some of you, half of us would have partial dentures, half of us probably wouldn't. Man, listen, probably would have got shipped off. Yeah, you getting shipped off to the military. You think you know everything. You think you tough. And that's real facts right there. If at some point you couldn't get the word across to you, trust me, you was gonna learn a hard lesson. Small handful of people really took the hard lesson in the hard way. But then when they came back and realized what it was being done for, they had a bigger understanding and a greater respect for it. Appreciate you for dropping those leaking serious, baby. Working hard than these damn construction workers on the corner, baby. But yeah, it's just time to realize something. How do you expect to form and do certain things when you can't even respect your business partners? Prime example. Again, gotta learn to respect everything that you need to respect. And if you feel you can't respect it, then you need to either check yourself or you just move along. But just know this: for every time you get disrespectful, every time you do something that you know for a fact could have a sour consequence, you just taking more stripes away from you. Honestly, some people really ain't gonna tolerate the disrespect. They will either check you verbally or they gonna check you physically. A lot of times you want to avoid going physically, but hey, if you say I've done the wrong thing to a point where it calls for it, then hey, that's the happen. And I'm not encouraging violence or anything along those lines. I just view and observe what I view and observe. There are some situations that don't necessarily ever have to get that far out of pocket. So much as there are cooler heads that are prevailing around that situation. And I've always said this to a degree. If you do have some form of aggression going on with somebody or you have some form of issue, y'all figure out how to settle that. So this way it doesn't cause an impact, especially if you have a family. And I'm being as logical as possible. I've seen some people either get in the boxing ring or get in the wrestling ring or have done something to get that aggression off. And it didn't always have to lead to some form of violence, even after everything was said and done. You know what the difference is between the generation now and the generation previous to? It was rare, and I'm talking about as far as the real men is concerned, it was rare that somebody was probably getting shot or unalive just because person they fought took a loss. These days, you take a loss and some of y'all lose your mind. One thing to remember is that guess what? You're gonna always have something or somebody that's gonna be greater than you. But if you're taking the necessary steps, the hell is this? My bad, y'all. Always something involving work. I'll look at that later. But come on now. When somebody of an elder stature is giving you some form of advice and at least a little piece of wisdom, you should be able to take that into consideration. The old proverbial hard head make a soft ass is true. You got a hard head because you won't listen. You got a hard head either because you're too stubborn and you're too prideful. But again, you could come crashing down. Time to start upping up the ante when it comes to respect for real though. Can't say you're gonna move forward. Can't say that you're gonna be always in good graces with people when you are constantly disrespecting them. Now again, the difference between this situation right here, right? Now here's the other scenario. The difference between the kids of this generation and the kids of the past generation. Wanna know what the real difference is? Yeah, despite that there was still forms of racism and everything else going on. To the majority of the households, it wasn't being presented at home. And it definitely wasn't being taught. Majority of the kids, especially the ones who are coming from within the communities, a lot of them didn't see, just like how I can say right now. Right now, it's a little different, but that's neither here nor there because that's another conversation. But back in the day, they didn't push, they didn't try to do as much as how they doing it now. Again, we wasn't aware of racism, sexism, fascism, all of that. We wasn't aware of that. There was no need for it because we didn't see color, we didn't see race, ethnicity, none of that. We just deemed if you was a good person, you good to be around, or you just all in all for the cause. And hey, for the cause, rock with you. To some degree, it seems like these children, especially the young ones, are learning a little too much than they supposed to be learning. But in my opinion, they learning some of the wrong things. It's causing the influx. That's why I was saying to a degree the other day, as parents, you need to start having some form of a balance. And that means at certain points, there should be no TV, there should be no electronic devices, gaming systems, none of that. Study, sit back, have some real good talks, family discussion, play some games. And I mean actually like play some classic games, whether it's card games, doesn't matter. Mo, what's going on, baby? Reason why I say that is because to some degree that structure that used to be is gone only because again people don't take the time to realize there's a lot going on within 24 hours of a day. So if you're not sitting down having discussions, if you're not talking about what you need to talk about, you miss out on a lot of different scenarios. No doubt, be safe on that road, baby. Anybody that's on the road right now, again, make sure y'all keeping yourself safe. You already know what it is. Definitely keep your eyes on your side view, your rear view, everything. Be careful, definitely. Oh, that's a big old truck right there. Yeah, my bad, yo. Was kind of being nosy for a second too. My bad. I'm trying to see if that truck was going to make it through there. I don't think so. But yeah, again, we didn't see race or creed or anything along those lines coming from that generation. It was all about the vibes and the bonds that you made. And yes, we have had scenarios where things did look on the up and up. But again, we did what we could do. You gotta think about that. It's all tactics when it's all said and done. Tactics being used again to cause that form of division and that form of hate and disparity. But guess what? I do feel at certain points it's not even going to be a problem no more. It's really going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be situations where 9 out of 10 ain't going to be about that. It's going to be about the overall big picture. Some of y'all, you think certain things right now not might affect you, but you got to ask yourself in this scenario, what happens if it does affect you? How are you going to move forward from there? And if you're not diversified the way you're supposed to be in life, like I said yesterday, if you're not diversified in life, shoot, you ain't gonna have nothing. You can't blame nobody for nothing. Only thing you can do is take your accountability and make it your responsibility to get yourself where you need to get yourself. If you're unhappy about what's going on in life, then you need to figure out a way to make things work in your life. Trying to bring down others, trying to drag down others, that don't work. That same person from a different background you just disrespected could be the main one at some point saving your life or saving your kid's life. You never know. Might even save yours, your wife, girlfriend, whatever. I think you gotta at least have some form of self-respect. The same way you want to be treated, you should be trying to treat people that same way. You can have all the disagreements in the world. But those disagreements should always lead to certain forms of disrespect. Was going to ask a question today. Like I said, I am going to revisit this. So I think this is a good topic of conversation too. It'd be real interesting to see exactly what's being said. You know, question for the day is, what do y'all think is worse for a child? An absent father or a toxic mother? It's a good question to ask, right? Nah, it's definitely a great question to ask. Because that's something that's been lingering in my mind too. And it'd be good to see how everybody, flows on this topic. Because I do feel, honestly, in my opinion, it's detrimental that both it's detrimental to that boy or that girl both ways. Because yeah, a toxic mother could do a whole lot, especially if there's multiple kids involved. That mother could poison those children's minds, warp their reality, so on and so forth. Right? It's the truth. An absentee father is just as bad because guess what? The absentee father. Now again, unless, and I want y'all to hear me out, unless that father is deceased, um, yeah, an absent father, or wait, let me not say that neither. If the father is deceased, or if the father doesn't even know or isn't aware that they even have a child, because that's another way. There's some people who have done that. This is what I'm saying. There's some mothers who have known they was pregnant, known who the father was, and either didn't say nothing, or just because it's not where they should have been or where they feel it should have been, they will take that child and disappear. So I can't blame those two type of scenarios. But an absent father is bad too because guess what? You're not being there to make sure you are being a part of your child's upbringing. You're not worrying about their overall safety. You're not taking that into full consideration. Now, some of the absent fathers, we already know the scenario is toxic mother situation, playing playing the kids and using them as pawns in games, all because either that person don't want to be with you, or that person just wants to co-parent, all because he didn't do something that you wanted him to do, especially when it do come to money. That's another toxic trait for a toxic mother. Always focusing on money. Um, shit. I'm sorry. I feel bad for those brothers because those are the ones I say always go through the hell. And if these are the decent brothers that I speak about, like I speak about, then yeah, I feel bad for them because they got caught in toxic situations. But again, I feel a child should never be used in any form of war games. And it shouldn't even be war games. At this juncture, it's supposed to be about coming together and raising a child or raising them children correctly. You know, it's, it's a sad generation that we are seeing right now. In certain forms, you wish it'd get a little better. But the things have never been this toxic, at least in my opinion, at least until just recently. Again, the life lesson is whether you're gonna be with that person or not, it's about having a common ground and building for the betterment and making sure that that child gets the equal love, attention, and opportunity that they're supposed to get. Again, there's some people who know how to co-parent, and you would never think that they would split up or anything. Again, it's about keeping a balance and not faking the fun. If you both have the common ground and say, well, look, at least we're not arguing, we're not fighting every day, despite whatever. Okay, well, we can still get this together and raise this kid together. At least until you know that child is old enough to understand what's necessary. Then you move from there. But shoot, can't move forward with somebody that's toxic on either level. But again, a toxic mother is a bad one because you are supposed to be, regardless to what, worrying about the safety and the welfare of your child. That's the most important thing out of everything. How can you feel good or safe or even comfortable to look yourself in the mirror when you are putting your child in all forms of danger? Those toxic traits carry on to your children. And then your children end up becoming toxic to some degree. Some people have to learn that if you did make some form of mistake, you just learn from it and move forward. You don't dwell on it. You don't keep repeating the same old patterns. Not gonna lie to you though. For the notion that you can sit here and really put your child in harm's way, not care about their overall development and growth. Look here, how can I say this the right way? It's not just about karma coming back to you. The fact that you don't care, it shows that you don't care about yourself. Oh no, I know that part, serious. Oh, trust me, I know that part. That's where I was mostly going with the absentee fathers. That portion right there is part of the reason. There are some irresponsible men. Yes, there are. But I'll be honest with you too. Irresponsible women as well. Because if you can allow yourself to keep putting yourself in that position, and I can't even say the weak minded ones are the ones that are catching the wreck. Here's why I say it is important to establish and instill, certain principles that are needed. There's some people who ain't deadbeat fathers, but again, mothers playing games with the children, especially those who Like prime example, you might have joint custody. Prime example, you supposed to be coming to pick up your child, but then she don't want to give you the child or give you the children. Look, toxic situations. I saw a video that recently threw me off because again, it's sad. That man is with his child, and it's like there's a reason why the child is clinging to that father like that too. So that goes to show that you already have poison and toxic traits. You trying to cause a situation to where cops will be called, you get arrested, and you try to give them all forms of wild out stories just to get sole custody or try to keep your child from being like that's corny. I'm sorry, that's corny. There's some of y'all ladies that need to hear that in life. The things you do when it comes to your children are blatantly corny. Yeah, I'm using an old term for that. Give me 1 second. They trying to give me a copy of that. I'm bad, y'all. Like, come on now. If that man is a good father, that man is taking care of his responsibility, not just on a financial tip, but just on a good all in all balance of things, then why fuck it up? Let that man be a father to his children, especially if he really wants to be involved. Word, what's going on, my guy? You see a lot of that and you be like, well, damn, like, how selfish could you be? This is what I'm saying. Like, you mess up the delicate balance because, again, yes, a child came from your womb, but without that man's seed, trust me, you wouldn't have nothing. And you wouldn't be able to use it as a pawn. Not unless you go and lie about a pregnancy. And we've seen people lie about that too. Just to try to get whatever. Like, nah, that's not the way life goes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, I felt like this. Goes back to what I was saying a while back. Mandatory DNA testing should be the number one option. I'm not gonna lie, there's a small portion of reasons why there's absentee fathers too. Because if they really ain't the father, why would they want to take care of somebody that's not theirs? Which is by all rights, that's their right. If they feel that way, like I don't have no real ties to you. And if I just dodged the bullet or if I felt like I dodged the bullet, then hey, it's up to me to decide what I'm gonna do. You might have some men that'll still try to put that into consideration, like, you know what, I ain't gonna go out like that. Especially if I know it ain't really nothing. But then again, yeah, you still got to give a person the option to do so. Because again, yeah, not gonna have that many responsible men, just like you ain't gonna have that many responsible women. It's like a double-edged sword, at least in my opinion. Damn, word, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. Yeah, it's serious. It is best to let the courts try to do something, but then again, it's again, look, you see how some of these women have lied to a point where basically the system is already on their side as it is. I'm sorry, but it's not a fair system, especially when it does come to the men. And again, there's a lot of fathers out there that are going through that. Again, this is a general consensus of it. Toxic traits like that. You shouldn't have to lie about a pregnancy. You lying about giving life. Shoot. What's gonna happen when you really do give life? But it's almost like crying wolf. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all gotta be aware of the toxic behaviors that is, within. I'm sorry. And that is a question. What is more worse to a child? Or what is conceived worse to a child? Or children for that matter? Absent father or toxic mother? In my opinion, both of them are the worst things to happen to children, period. It's just my opinion on it. You know. Oh shoot. Damn. Almost had a fender bender. Oh, oh. Somebody called 1-800 lawyers. I think somebody might be hurt. Oh no. Nah. They swerved off. My bad. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. It's about you gotta preserve yourself. And again, there are some people who have made that mistake, but then again, you got some fellas out there who are doing their damnedest. And they fought tooth and nail. It didn't matter how toxic the woman was. Why? Because again, I'm not gonna allow you to poison my child or poison my children. Especially if I got sons or daughters. Nah, you're not doing that. You're not just gonna do that. That's what I'm saying. It's a mentality to just say I'm not gonna do that. Let me be wise on who I'm spreading seeds with. And like I said that a while back. Fellas, be careful who you slinging the wood to. Ladies, be careful about who you giving the goods to. There's a reason why I said that. So you can avoid situations like that. Slinging everywhere, guess what? You're going to catch either a toxic one or a stalker or somebody else along those lines. And then what you going to do then? Ah, you got to put up with extra nonsense you don't want to have to put up with. Who needs that? Yeah, it's crazy. Yo, word, I just feel, like me personally, I just always felt that way. Like it's a double-edged sword with that one because you right on that notion as well too. But it's crazy. I was saying an absentee father because guess what? If that woman is that damn toxic and she can't keep a stern role model around, and it's still kind of like leaning towards that side. But I don't know. Look, it's just I'm gonna definitely speak about it. I'm gonna give myself some time to really like collect the thoughts because I feel in both mannerisms, both words. Yeah, you can replace a father or have a role model father figure around. You can do that. But again, it's about who she selects. And then if she's not willing to let that person do what's necessary, it's basically still a critical loss right there. Yeah, that's a fact. Again, y'all got to sit down and really be intimate about that. Like, look, if we decide to go this far, you ready for everything? I need to know what I'm getting into, especially you telling me you want this. It's just a simple talk. I'm gonna pick and choose a day on that combo because like I said, it's just conversations that it's good to happen. You know, good to have them on the platform because again, want to get everybody's views and opinions. Yeah, you hear them niggas up there. You hear them niggas in the trees. You hear them. Something dead over here. I don't know what though. Before you go any further than you need to go, make sure that this is what you really want to do. I've always felt, again, you should always keep yourself protected at all costs, especially until you really are ready for that scenario. Gotta spot some of the toxic behavior when it comes to certain men and women, especially when it comes to women. The reason why I say that, and I'm not trying to cause no nothing. The reason why I say that is because, again, some of them put themselves in positions to where you could have been a little bit better. Your family structure could have been well more put out, but you chose to be that toxic and not allow anything in. Some of that is self hate. Because again, there's no way you can tell me you're looking for somebody to accept you, accept your kids, but then you're not willing to let them do what's necessary to help you raise those kids. At least if that's what they want to try to do. If that's how they feel, they're gonna move with you. How y'all keep trying to say, "Oh, I'm a whole package." Okay, some men don't want a whole package. Just keeping it real. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's a hit and miss situation on that. I just feel like this. If you're gonna procreate with somebody, then make sure that's the right person that's gonna be stable mentally, financially. And the reason why I say financially is because, yeah, you gotta buy clothes, peppers, milk, all that other stuff, and shit is expensive now. Uh might have to pay for certain extra things that are needed. But yeah, mostly mentally stable. Because again, I could be financially stable, I could have everything possible, but I could have the mind of a nutcase. So you gotta make sure it's nothing that crazy. But I feel if you have laid down with somebody and that person, and that goes for the fellas too. If you did lay down with somebody who does still have that form of respect and everything else for you, then you kind of made the right choice. Even if you ain't gonna be together, but you can agree to, do it the best way for the children, that's good. You know, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like it's conversations like this that I always feel is key and critical. Because again, you want to try to enlighten some of the ones that are coming in. And again, if you're not gonna do what's necessary, then don't worry about bringing no children in the world. Some of y'all gotta learn to get control of your hormones. It's not always just about the humping. It's more to that. It's not just about the sexual pleasure. It's more than that. That's what I'm saying. It goes deeper than anything. I ain't gonna get crazy, but still, because for all you know, everything could be good up until a certain point. And you definitely don't want it to be that certain point after you done put life in the world. You definitely don't want to have to go through that the hard way. But again, make sure you bringing it with the right person. Again, take procreation for granted. Yeah, you're taking procreation for granted. Some people need to hear that. I ain't being judgmental. I'm being logical. You're taking it for granted. But then you know there comes a whole lot of other responsibilities. So you keep on out there and doing what you're doing. Keep hunting like rabbits. Keep bringing multiple kids in the world without trying to really raise them or without really trying to be responsible for them. And you'll see that it's not as easy as you think it is. And also remember this part too, to a degree. No man is going to want to deal with somebody who has multiple kids with multiple dudes and vice versa. Let's just keep it real. Nobody wants to deal with a whole bunch of baggage. Now, unless they're willing to sit down and accept that because they already at a certain impasse in their life, then hey, you do what you do. This is why I said I always call it down the middle. See, y'all both got strong points about it. My overall strong point is both are toxic for the children. Absent father, runaway father, that's no go. But a toxic mother that brings that traits into their children, yeah, it's just as bad. Like I said, it's even in my opinion, and I can agree to disagree with a little bit of everything today because again, it's hard to really say right now. It's hard to really say how that pans out. You should have a loving mother and father, regardless of what their impasse or situation is. It should be mostly that. If you're not willing to have conversations that you're supposed to have, put yourself in a unlikely position that you don't want to be in. Fellas, you got to start being more wise in your decisions. Ladies, the same way. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely wait on another day and have this conversation. I don't know. It's a question that was lingering. And I had to ask it. So, and this is what I'm saying. It's not right. You know, it's not right at all. Um, I always felt that, from my personal view and opinion on it, from my personal logical view, every child, whether it's by blood parents, foster parents, uncles, aunts, anybody else along those lines, even if it's a perfect stranger that ends up taking you into adoption and they raise you with the best of the best, that should be the most important thing. Having a loving and a strong father, just like a loving and strong mother. You don't get no better than that. Child has the opportunity to have a great bond amongst both parents. Stop jeopardizing that over pettiness, nonsense, arguments. You got to be able to say, you know what, despite how I might feel about the situation, my child is more important. Remember what I told y'all recently about that father winning custody of his child, which is rare in certain cases. You really have to prove that this person is beyond irresponsible or beyond detrimental to their child for them to even get, for you to even get your child. There's going to be a lot of that going around lately. There's going to be a lot of that continuously going around. To be honest, because there's certain situations where it was too much silence. Silence is over. And that's what I'm saying. Be logical. Be sensible. You never fully know somebody until you really have been around them. And not so much as just study them, but just be around them. Certain things you might not peep off the rip, but you might have other situations where you're going to peep it off the rip. And you'll be able to decipher if this is really something you're going to do. I wouldn't care. Listen, and excuse me for sounding like an old nigga in a young body. I'm not laying no seeds. I don't care how fertile you are or I'm not laying nothing in you if I know for a fact you ain't there. Mentally, maturely, none of that. Sorry. Not gonna be at an impasse. Again, procreation. I don't take that for granted. Nah, you're right, serious. That part right there is true. It shouldn't be hard. And for some people it's not. Because again, you got people who even if they've broken up, prime example, they still have the love and respect, and it's more about the children. But if they already had a strong bond, even if they done moved on to other people, guess what? Still a balance. Kids get everything they supposed to get. Take your time when you are trying to find somebody you really want to mate with. Like, come on now. That's why I said yesterday, and I'm gonna keep asking those questions every day. What's more important, living for that moment, or living for the overall bigger picture of things? You want a solid family. You ain't got to worry about having multiple partners, and multiple scenarios, and even multiple headaches and heartaches. You better get it together. Like I said, I think I'm gonna bring that up on another night, definitely. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that link. Cause it'd be great to have a conversation and see what everybody really thinks. I already see what y'all both think. Y'all already know how I feel about it. I just feel a little more if a child is gonna be born into the world, and that child needs equal love, education, and opportunity to grow, and spread their damn wings. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about that part right there. Lack of responsibility. It doesn't show good character. It doesn't. Because how could you think to bring children in the world if you want to leave them basically to the wolves? One thing I can say though is I think this is definitely going to be a great topic of discussion for everybody to be a part of. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, I wouldn't have thought to bring it up as part of the topic today, neither. But it kept lingering in my mind. Y'all know how I feel about that. I don't like things lingering in my mind. So yeah, yeah. Had to bring that up. Um, for those who might not be parents yet, this should be a general service announcement. Make sure you know what you don't. Make sure that person's going to be down for the long haul. There really should be marriage or something involved in it. And to be honest, I know some people are fearful of marriage only because look what marriage has become, or look what they kind of indoctrinated to be. It's like, to a degree, marriage is just a contractual agreement, but it was never that back in the day. Yeah, you still might have had to go see a priest or have some form of how you say it, uh, counseling and stuff like that before anything. But shoot, everything else wasn't worried about. Because again, let's be real. It wasn't about contractual agreements back in the day. If you knew you was getting married for the right reasons with the right person, you didn't have to worry about no prenups or any of that other stuff. That was how you say taboo back in the day. You knew you was marrying somebody that was going to be there. You knew you was marrying somebody that was definitely not going to make sure, or definitely make sure, my fault, definitely make sure that the family was intact regardless to what the situation was going on. Because they did not want to disturb a balance. It's something to think about, though. And I am going to bring that at some point. I'm not going to lie to you. Word, you already know you more than welcome to pop it on the convo. So you know what it is, bro. But these are convos that I feel are necessary because it does open up the mindset. It does open up the idea that it's supposed to open up. You know, you can't always just think with your hormones and think for that moment. Because any false move or any wrong move, yeah, you'll be worried about that. Don't want to be responsible, do the most responsible thing. Just wait until you are ready to be responsible. Why keep bringing children in the world if you're not going to be able to take care of them on any level? But yeah, all in all, though, I feel like this was a little conversation that was needed for a little early afternoon. I would try to keep this a little bit longer. Oh, wait a minute. I did actually want to ask something else, but hey, give me a second. My bad, y'all. Hey, you know I love that shit. When something be lingering, you gotta ask those questions. You want to know how people feel. Tanya, what's going on, baby? If y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Oh, no, you good. I think the link is still in the check. So, wait a minute. These people don't have those kinds of value. Hey, I mean, listen. Because again, some of it is, in my opinion, due to social media. What you think some of the women are looking for right now? It's like, what do you think some of the men are looking for right now? Look how it's being promoted and pushed down the throat. I could be wrong, but I could be right as well too. Again, they turned marriage into the institute, in my opinion, a contractual agreement. I don't think it ever should be a contractual agreement. I'm giving you my last name because I want you to be my everything. So that means once I've chosen you, I'm not letting you go. It's really, in my opinion, the mindset. But you got some men, if they're gonna be willing to give you a last name, that means they are willing to be down with you for life. But fellas, you gotta make sure that woman is actually gonna accept it and do things the proper way. Again, if you really are trying to make certain steps and advancements in life with people, you really have to have in-depth conversation. So I would have got a copyright for the nah, you good. I'm about to get a copyright for what I'm about to do right now for the birthday people. You know how I do it though. You know how I do it though. All those celebrating that darn birthdays this week and this weekend. We ain't forget about you, baby. There you go. There you go. Hopefully you enjoy your weekends and stay blessed, like I said. And again, just be thankful for another blessing, another year around the sun. You know, same shit. You know, but truth. I had to, I had to ask that question because it was lingering around in my mind for almost a week. It's like, damn, what is worse? You know, because everybody's gonna have a different view and opinion on it. I love to hear that. Love to hear it. Everybody gonna have a different view and opinion. But see, that's the thing. We know we can have good, great conversations without none of the nonsense, disrespect, or the there's some people you're never gonna be able to have conversations with, but you ain't supposed to have conversations with fools anyway. Oh, they ain't about to start that madness already. Shut up and just drive, son. Start that. Start that. It's Friday. It's already hot. Start that. But all in all, though, it's good. It's good to get that clear view of things for real. I kind of see it both ways, but you know, we'll definitely come to that conclusion. All in all, though, I think there was something else lingering in the back of my scout piece. Give me a second. Give me a second. Uh, yeah, my bad. I'm gonna have to use that on that night too. My bad. Can't use it. I thought ahead of myself this time. But I do give and take. Um, I do give and take the things. I'm gonna give you a strong conversation. Sparky baby. I'm gonna give you a great conversation and a great build. What I'm gonna take from it is the same things I take for granted. Only thing I take for granted is the fact that I go hard about this, but I feel it's worth it regardless. What I'm gonna take from this It's great experiences and great dubs. So yeah, I like to do give and takes. But again, fellas, speaking to y'all first, because again, a lot of y'all that know y'all should be keeping yourselves protected. Even if you all gonna be doing the do. Keep yourself protected. And if you know somebody is already toxic, ain't no need for you to plant no seeds in that. Because you know there's nothing coming good from out that situation. You could bet your life on that one. And if you are lucky to be like the select few and gain what you need to gain, then yeah, you better learn that lesson too. And learn not to put no more seeds in anybody until you know you're ready. The same thing with you ladies. Allowing multiple people into you raw, just expect some form of pregnancy to happen or some form of sexual disease to happen. Pick your poison on that one. Start being a little more wise and a little more safer with your body. So I can really tell you. Because again, you don't want to have to suffer certain consequences. Your best bet is to do that. Or, like I said, abstain from it until you know you're ready and you're good ready to do so. Not take for granted procreation, the gift of giving life. Before I do get up out of here, it's about lunchtime now. Like I said, I will be bringing back this conversation. And link will be pinned for it. Ah, shit. Do appreciate everybody that's been a part of these great conversations, being a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. Even those in the shadows that rock with your boy. Guess what? Y'all know what we doing. And don't ever forget it. We still gonna be doing it. Um, it's more about the message than anything. We came with that sole purpose. Harry, what's going on? Like I came with that sole purpose. It's having great conversations and builds. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is good to try to spark the ideas and reopen the minds. Because in certain instances, it's like we're not thinking for ourselves. We're letting the system or the machines think for us. So to start really getting back in tune with self. And for those who are following me on Clapper, I will definitely be back in the building tonight at 7. And yeah, just take that into consideration about these conversations that we just had today. Some of you parents, if you are going to already be out here raising children, try to raise them in the right light. Try to at least give them the tools needed. Honor, discipline, respect, acceptance, tolerance. It works. Overall, best way to keep certain minds from being corrupted is give a balance. Like I said, sometimes it's good to unplug from certain devices. Get to know your children. Get to have a strong bond with your children. Everything else will look up from there. Definitely ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. I'll definitely see y'all tonight on Clapper. Always a great conversation with the people, and this is what we're gonna keep doing. And again, I'm gonna revisit this. Definitely gonna revisit that last part of it. Appreciate you, serious baby. I appreciate everybody that was being a part of the conversation. Word hit some key points too. You know, you hit some key points. Look, we all hit some key points today. It ain't just me. It is general conversation. We all have hit some way, in some fashion, key points that are needed. The goal is just keeping it that way. But yeah, let me get up out of here. It's time for me to figure out lunch. And again, I'll see y'all tonight at 7 on Clapper. And don't worry, you know, those that follow me heavy on here, I'll see y'all in the morning with the cypher. You know what time it is. Always a pleasure to bring those conversations. And I can't just leave y'all like that neither. I forgot. For those who might have just been coming into the fold,
porn causes brain drop. Damage.
For the clan
porn causes brain damage.
Oh yeah, for those I'm gonna see in the club tonight.
I normally don't ask girls stuff like this until they tell me they're pregnant. What's your name?
Oh yeah, and my pettiness rose up again. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Yeah. Let me get up out of here. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and they'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm going to do is give you real topics and real builds. Again, this is a great conversation to build. Make sure y'all sharing that out. And again, I'll see y'all later on tonight. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.